Hey guys, welcome back to the channel 3 days away. Hey, about a year ago, I had posted a video right here about my LEER XQ or 100 XQ premium Silverado truck cap leaking on both sides in the corner, mainly near the front of the cab during heavy driving rain and maybe even some car washes that I was going through, ones that I could fit. Now, I must say, we are getting ready to do another road trip to Flagstaff. Obviously, it's going to be a lot colder and wetter than it is here in Southern California, and I want to make sure it's buttoned up. And I've been kind of lazy about taking the chance of popping that window out on my own. It is a brand new style. It's a one-piece glass. It bends out instead of sliding, and wasn't sure how to do that. But after some research, hitting some forums, finally figured it out. And let me show you where I'm at. All right, guys, highly recommend you get a person to help you with that, with moving this window. But if you don't, get yourself some tape and clean the surface and do a nice tape, probably about every foot all the way around, nice and snug. Again, painter's tape should do the trick. It's not going to come out when you loosen it unless you've had it out before, but that's just a little margin of safety. All right, go all the way around, make sure you fold your window back in, and go ahead and do that. Now, obviously, you're going to have a one-piece screen. This little thing in the middle is just a little truss, but it's a one-piece screen, okay? These screens don't open because, you have this little thing which actually bends the glass ever so slightly. And make sure it's closed, okay? You don't have to mess around with this mechanism. Just make sure it's lined up like that so you can slip the screen off. Now get yourself one of these little body tools, interior trim tools, plastic. I like this small one here, okay? And you're gonna see around the top these little clips here, and you wanna get up under there, and it's just gonna pop off a little bit. And there you go, see how you release that? This just slides in here. You'll eventually take these off so you don't lose them, but you go all the way around and pop those off, and that screen should come out just like that, okay? Once you got that screen off, you're gonna have these 1/4 inch little hex screws all the way around. You're gonna have you need to get a cup so you don't lose them, and get yourself a little low power electric screwdriver with a 3/8 thing if you want, or do it by hand. And go around and get all these off. And then you're going to end up with about that many. You notice that they are, self-tapping, so to speak. Maybe not self-tapping, but they're almost like wood screws, okay, or metal screws. This would be a good time to get some extra ones in case you lose them. Now, once you get all the screws out, guys, this little trim piece right here, you're going to want to go around and maybe use the maybe a slightly bigger one, but definitely recommend don't use a screwdriver, but use this plastic tool and just pop it around. There's not really a seal, okay, but just go all the way around and then take that trim ring off, and you're going to end up with a trim ring like this. There is a centerpiece there. It has this little clip that kind of keeps it together, and then just set it aside. Okay, and there's what it looks like now. Sorry I didn't have 3 hands to film this as I was popping it out, but there's no glue or nothing holding this on. It's just a rubber seal, okay, guys? But you can see, I've already rubbed some of it off, but you can see where it's really dirty right in here, okay? That's where the water was getting in. It also kind of pulls up at the top here a little bit, okay? Definitely not good to have pulling water here. It is fiberglass, it's not going to rot, but and it got really thin right here. You can really kind of see where it got kind of thin, but just be careful. Peel that tape back. There's going to be some friction, but kind of wiggle it. Use that plastic tool gently to kind of pop the corners, and it'll come right off. And then here is your window. Now I have this really dense foam here. Now I recommend having a, like a furniture blanket pad or something like that ready to go so you can lay it down. Even better if you have 2 people, which is great. as you can see here, this would be the inside closest to the tailgate mechanism for a flip out. The seal on that side was pretty decent shape. And here's the seal that goes against the cap body. It's rubber. It's not super thick. You can see some of these holes where the Leer factory screwed in here. Now, you're going to make sure that these are in good shape, because when you put it back on, you're going to have to find these little holes, and it's going to be kind of like a sandwich. And just make sure they're in good shape. If they're not in good shape, you might want to reconsider drilling new holes. But over here, my cap had some factory damage here. It looks like they started in one hole, changed their mind, went to another hole. Now, I don't know which one they used, but that definitely doesn't help. So I'm going to definitely, before I put it back on, put some sealant on both these holes here, and that way I know whichever one I don't use will be sealed up. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then right here, I'm not sure what this tab is. I believe this tab might be holding these two edges together like a pinch kind of tab, but they decided to put a screw there. So I'm gonna get some basic window cleaner, and I'm gonna clean the surface of that rubber seal there really well. Okay, and then I'm also going to clean the corresponding surface really well here on the fiberglass top. Okay, but you can see obviously that little area right there, it just didn't have a good bite. There's barely 1/8 of an inch, I think, if that, contact, with the seal contacting that. You can see from the carpet liner, factory carpet liner, dirty and nasty, and then that was letting the water in. It was probably running on the inside down, and of course getting in there, pulling up, and you don't want that inside your truck, guys. So at any rate, I'm gonna go ahead and clean all this up, and then I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do next. All right, guys, what I'm gonna be using here is the STAP amp, advanced modified polymer, fancy name for clear window sealant. This stuff is pretty good for RVs and trucks, and it's outdoors. Got a wide temperature range. It's good stuff, guys. I'm using clear because in case any leaks out, I got a white truck, so I hate a mess. But I'm not going to use a whole lot. I'm just going to kind of give it a skim coat on this rubber seal all the way around, and then I'm going to also give a little bit of a bead around on the fiberglass, paying particular attention to those areas where it's kind of thin. And of course, this extra hole I have here. All right, guys, before I do the final gluing, I'm going to give it kind of a dry fit. So I set it in here, and I wanted to show you here the amount of play that we have here. So I understand they probably need that extra play to fit everything in there, but man, it's a lot of play. I don't expect this thing to be able to stay there without some mechanical intervention. But look, I hope that glue adhesive helps out a little bit, or the sealant. So when I tighten the trim ring up, I'm gonna prop it up just a little bit to try to get more of a seal up here, because that's where they cheap me out, jip me. Too much of a gap here, and that seal isn't getting enough seal up there. So basically, yeah, I'm just going to have to kind of hold it a little bit and hope for the best. I guess I could put a piece of like door trim on the bottom half here a little bit, and maybe that would help prop it up, but yeah, I don't want to do that. Anyway, you can see my extra hole here, and so I'm going to pay a lot of attention. and about sealing that up right there. All right, guys, that's about it. If you take your time, put it in the way you took it out, put a little silicone on all those little screw holes, anywhere it looks like it's kind of leaking, that should probably do the trick. Now, make sure you do it right the first time, guys, because I have a feeling that once that's all siliconed in, if you ever have to take these windows out, man, that's going to be a bear. So be careful. So do this at your own risk. But if you want a nice watertight seal on your cap, at least from the bed rails up, you might want to try this. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you on the next one.